A scene script. And to think I almost traded all of this for a pot of uncooked. The air echoed as Hermi's words filled the room. It was a journey that had begun in the unlikeliest of circumstances. Narrator: Hermi was just an ordinary math and science teacher. He had spent his entire life engrossed in the numbers and scientific theories, believing in their certainty, their predictability. He had never envisioned himself taking on a role of a coach, let alone for a press conference. But fate had different plans. One ordinary day, which seemed just like other, had taken an extraordinary turn. Hermi was suddenly thrust into an unfamiliar world, a world of press conferences where words were as important as the numbers he had always loved. The journey was not easy. Confusion filled his days as he attempted to navigate this new path. The rules were different. The stakes were high. And Hermi was an accidental coach in a game he had never played. Chaos was his constant companion. Erratic schedules, unfamiliar tasks, and the pressure of coaching students for a high-stakes press conference was overwhelming. More than once, he contemplated giving it all up for a pot of uncooked rice, a metaphor for the simple, uncomplicated life he had before. Coffee became his lifeline. Pots and pots of it. It kept him awake during those late-night coaching sessions. It fueled his thoughts. It was a silent companion during those solitary moments of self-doubt. And yet, amidst all the confusion and chaos, there was something profoundly beautiful happening. Hermi and his students were evolving. They were learning new skills, they were pushing their boundaries, they were growing together. It was during one of these coffee-fueled late-night sessions that Hermi had his epiphany. He realized that he was no longer just a math and science teacher. He was a coach, a mentor, a guiding light for his students. He was making a difference in their lives. Narrator: And so, Hermi the accidental coach returned home, not just as a math and science teacher, but as a decorated press conference coach. His journey was filled with confusion, chaos, and a lot of coffee. But in the end, his students and he had evolved, they had grown, they brought home the trophy. His heart swelled with pride as he looked at the shiny trophy. It was a symbol of their journey, their growth, their victory. And in that moment, he realized that he wouldn't trade this experience for anything in the world. Not even for a pot of uncooked rice. Hermi, to himself, maybe I should start teaching English too. Nah, I'll stick to numbers. They're less dramatic. He smiled to himself, content in the knowledge that, while words might be dramatic, they had brought him and his students a victory they would cherish forever. Narrator: And there you have it, folks. The evocative narrative of Hermi, an ordinary individual who was placed in extraordinary circumstances and emerged victorious. Hermi was an accidental coach, thrust into a world that he didn't fully understand at first. But as we've seen, sometimes life throws us into the deep end, not to watch us sink, but to teach us how to swim. Hermi's story is a testament to this very notion. In the beginning, it was a journey filled with confusion, doubt, and a string of questions. Hermi was just like any of us, working through the mundane rhythms of life, tackling everyday challenges. Then one day, everything changed. He was assigned to a press conference coaching gig. A task that was not just unfamiliar but bewildering. The unexpectedness of it all left him feeling unprepared, anxious, and overwhelmed. But the story of Hermi isn't a tale of surrender, oh no. It's a story of resilience, determination, and most importantly, growth. He didn't let his fear of the unknown dictate his actions. Instead, he decided to face the challenge head-on, using it not as a threat but as an opportunity to learn and evolve. As the days turned weeks and weeks into months, Hermi started to embrace the uniqueness of his situation. He began to understand that the most unexpected paths, the ones that seem difficult and confusing at first, are often the ones that lead us to the greatest victories. This realization fueled Hermi's drive to excel. He committed himself to the task at hand, proving to all of us that when you dedicate yourself to a challenge, no mountain is too high to climb. Remember, friends, when life hands you a situation that seems insurmountable, remember Hermi. Remember his journey from bewilderment to triumph. Remember his courage to face the unknown. Just like Hermi, even if what you're assigned seems overwhelming, embrace the challenge. Embrace the uncertainty. You never know, you might just end up surprising yourself. From Hermi's tale, we learn that life isn't just about the destination. It's about the journey. It's about the challenges we face, the hardships we overcome, and the victories we celebrate. It's about proving to ourselves that we are stronger, braver, and more resilient than we ever thought possible. So let Hermi's story inspire you. Let it remind you that no matter how hard the wind blows or how high the waves crash, you have the strength to withstand the storm. Let it prove to you that sometimes the most unexpected, the ones filled with obstacles and difficulties, are the ones that lead us to the most glorious victories. And now our time together today comes to a close. But before we part, let's take a moment to remember Hermi's words of wisdom. Life is an adventure. It's unpredictable, thrilling, and downright beautiful. So pack a good sense of humor, an unwavering spirit of determination, and a heart full of courage, and enjoy the ride. Because in the end, it's not about where you end up, but how you got there. Until next time, remember, life's an adventure. Pack a good sense of humor and enjoy the ride.